The smoke in Calgary right now is so bad, and I haven't been able to properly walk my dogs in 2 days because of how thick it is outside. Like, my eyes are actually kind of watering right now, and I can't be outside for longer than a few minutes because it smells so strong, like thick burning fire. And my poor dogs haven't been able to have a good decent walk. I just run them out, run them back in, because I don't want to do any endangerment to their lungs. But if you were to look outside right now, it's actually so crazy. I cannot believe how many Albertans have been evacuated from their houses, and just the state of Alberta in general, and even starting to move into BC. It's really sad what's happening out here right now, and I'm praying for all of the families that had to evacuate and leave their homes, or anybody who has lost their homes. It's just a really, really, really sad time, and especially for it to be already starting in May. We're gonna be in for quite a long summer. But anyways, not to start the podcast on a slow, sad, dreary note. Hello everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Welcome to Mars. It has been an interesting few days for me. There's just so much going on in life right now, and I've been having so many random thoughts in my head over the last couple of days, and maybe even over the last week, I would say. But I had to write them down in my book. I started writing again. I used to write all the time, and for those of you again who followed me along for a long time, I used to think I was Carrie Bradshaw, and I thought I was a writer, and I am not very good at writing. I'm not good at punctuation. I'm not good at sentences and where to put the comma. English was not really my strongest suit in high school, but I like to think that I write really well. And I have just recently discovered ChatGPT, okay? And I want to get in a little bit about this today because I fell into a really dark TikTok hole, I don't know, 2 weeks ago maybe, and I was really invested in learning about AI, and I started to get a little bit freaked out. And I got freaked out because I saw all the horror stories that are coming from it, and I saw an interview with Elon Musk that essentially he was we should be really worried about AI, and we should be worried about these bots. And then of course once you one thing on TikTok, then your TikTok algorithm turns into everything. And then I started seeing how everybody has these AI bots on Snapchat. Now Snapchat is something I do not have, and I feel I strongly dislike Snapchat, as all of you really know. And I started seeing how there was this one. I'm going to get into two articles that were really interesting, and the one, this mom's daughter or some rather other had Snapchat, and I guess with the new update with Snapchat, you automatically get an AI bot, which I find is really interesting. And they were trying to test things with the bot, and apparently this bot was trying to essentially meet up with said child. I don't know if it was a child or a teen or whatever. It doesn't matter if it is a child or a teen. They were trying to meet up, and then the bot would be oh, I hear there's a really nice grassy park we could go and walk around in X area. And then the child was oh, how do you know exactly what area I'm in? And it was this whole huge thing. And then all of a sudden, after 20 minutes of this bot trying to arrange a meetup with a child again or teen, then finally it was oh, just, I am kidding, I should not have said that, I am actually not real, and I could not meet up with you. I found it really strange. And then the other one that I couldn't wrap my head around was the one where people are now cloning your voice and using AI to scam people. And the dark hole that I fell down into, I couldn't sleep this night because I was so afraid this is going to sound insane, that something was going to break into my house and murder me. Like I was just like in this weird deep hole about AI, and I freaked myself out so much about it. But yeah, the scammers are you could take my voice from this podcast essentially and call my mom and say that I'm kidnapped and being held for ransom because they have taken my voice from my podcast or my TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is, because I have such a voice on all of these different social media apps. And I was terrified, and I just think it is such a scary time that we're living in right now to be going through all this. And like, listen, if Elon Musk is saying we should be worried, I feel like maybe we should be a little bit worried. And I know they've halted production for AI for months, or they're trying to at least, but I just think we're in for something that's going to be really scary. And to tack this back into the chat GPT thing is where I ended up, and I created an account because I just found it again so interesting that you can ask ChatGPT anything and it will give you an answer. Like I literally said, can you write me a 5,000 word essay on butterflies? And it wrote me a 5,000 word essay on butterflies. Now, my question is what is going to happen now when it comes to schooling and all of this stuff, when people are going to be so easily accessible to ChatGPT and they're going to get all their information or their essays or their, it's mind-blowing. And I think it's something that we should definitely be worried about, and something that is definitely interesting, and something that I think maybe I'm a little nervous about. I'm not going to lie. Although I did find it really cool to use GPT, not GBT, to use for essential like podcasting. I think it would be really cool because like you can get like interview questions, and you can get this, and you can find out, like, I think that's really cool, and I think that side of it is really neat. But I definitely think things are going to get very interesting in this world that we are living in. It's just so fucking crazy. And my city is on fire, and not actually, but Alberta is on fire, and so much is going on right now, and I need to stop watching the news. Maybe I need to stop watching crime documentaries. I need to stop. I'm watching a new show on Crave. I'm watching Love and Death. I don't know if anybody else has watched Love and Death, but I just started watching this, and it's about a very religious group of couples, very heavily into Jesus, and they start having an affair, and now she's murdered someone. It's a very interesting show, but my brain has just spiraled with so many different things over the last few days, and I don't know, this AI thing I think was the biggest thing that I can't stop thinking about. Like I literally, all I do is think about it. I'm thinking, oh my God, this world is gonna get taken over by robots. Will Smith's gonna come in and he's gonna have to save the day. So that's my first thought of the day. I'm literally sweating. My apartment stinks. I am like roasting to death. It's just been a really interesting few freaking days. And another thing I wanted to dive a little bit in about today was something I haven't talked about yet that I did a couple weeks ago, and it's really funny / confusing. Well, I just dropped my mic. Confusing, actually not confusing. I think it's just really funny because my dating life is funny, so naturally anything else that happens in my life is funny. Now, again, this is a few weeks ago. This is just something I haven't touched on yet. I haven't even talked about my trip to Mexico yet, which the trip to Mexico, let me get into that first. My best friend got married, and we were in Mexico for 6 days. I don't know how long we were there for. I ended up cutting my trip a day short because I cannot binge drink the way that I used to be able to. It's very different when you binge drink in Mexico for X amount of days than if you were to go to Vegas for a weekend and binge drink in Vegas. Now, Mexico is a lot different because it's all inclusive. So you wake up, you have a free drink. You get free drinks. It doesn't matter what time of the day, your drink is free. And I think we took it a little too serious when it came to all inclusive. When we got there, the day of we landed, we just drank. We drank and we drank and we drank. I don't even remember going to bed the first night that we got there. And of course, naturally, you wake up with a hangover, and the only way to cure your hangover is essentially to go and get, I don't know, a Caesar, a mimosa, a Bailey's and a coffee. And we did that every morning. A Bailey's and coffee, poof, you instantly feel like you're better. Your mind is tricked by more alcohol. And then your pattern just becomes a vicious cycle whatever, and you do the same thing every day, and it just got to be too much. And we got there on the Saturday. The wedding wasn't until Wednesday, and we were supposed to come home the following Saturday. I ended up coming home on Friday. The funniest part about this whole entire trip, the one thing that I just want to tackle about it, is the day of the wedding, we all got, like, I mean, I kept it very polite as long as I could. I was trying to be in charge of the Polaroids and make sure I got all the pictures till I got super intoxicated. And then, of course, naturally, the server just kept filling up my glasses of wine. So then that's when it went all downhill from there. The wedding finished at 11 o'clock at night, and we were like, hey, we're going to go change, and then we'll meet you back down at the sports bar, because at Rio's, I guess, I didn't know this, they all have 24-hour bars, which is mind-blowing to me. Like, you can drink in all hours of the day. So everyone went to go down to the sports bar, and I was like, okay, Gina, let's go upstairs. I want to change. I want to, like, get out of my groomsmaid dress and just, like, put on, like, you know, a casual drinking outfit. Gina goes to shower. I end up passing out, face first into the bed, plank. Unzipped my dress, so I took my dress off, so I was just in my underwear and my platform heels. I was wearing thick wedge platform heels, and I face planted into the bed, and I was sleeping 4 seconds later. I legitimately don't remember this, and I had my heels on still, and that's the best part of the story, is that I slept for 2 hours with my heels on. Gina didn't wake me up. She was happy I went to sleep because she didn't really want to go party anymore. And then I woke up in the middle of the night, which I still don't remember, and I took the heels off because I noticed that I had heels on. Took them off, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, didn't know what happened. Ben had texted me 700 times. I just was done. I had reached my quota of drinking in a span of 5 days, and I was out like a light. And Gina woke up and told me the story, and I was like, why didn't you take a photo? Like, the one thing that I would have loved to see is a photo of me face planted in the bed with my heels on and just a thong. Like, I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and that was my favorite part of the trip. Not that, my favorite part of the trip was the wedding and being with all my best friends for 6 days. Like, I was with every single one of my best friends, and we had such an amazing time while we were down there. No one got into a fight. There was no drama. Everything was perfect. It was the best trip I think I've ever been on. Like, it was a really good time. Now, back to my story. Oh, I guess in Mexico as well, I did meet a man. I haven't talked to him since, naturally, because you're on vacation. You know, a little fling for the day, whatever, 1 day fling. He was from Denver. He was really nice. We had a good time. He looked like Liam Hemsworth. If that's Miley Cyrus's ex-husband, that's what he looked like. And he was very, very good looking, and we had a very, very good time. But I'm not going to get into much detail about that, because that was a one-time thing, and it was a Mexico thing, and it was a fling, and you know what? I wish him all the best. Now, back to what I wanted to talk about, what I got up to. This was weeks ago. I haven't said anything about it because naturally, nowadays, with my old age, I am trying really hard to not get my hopes up in a relationship anymore because of my past, of everything that I have just been through in the last year, I want to say, because we're coming into June almost, and it's true, that is actually when I met my ex. So it's been a year long of trash, to put it lightly, manipulation, being cheated on, I'm sure. And so now, anytime I meet or start talking to a man, I'm trying so hard to keep it a little bit more quiet, because I have gotten so burned in the past, and obviously I'm so open about my dating, my relationship, and my sex life on my podcast and with my fans and my followers and all of you that listen. But I've really tried hard to try and keep things a little bit more quiet. I will only tell a couple of my friends, say I'm talking to a new person, because I don't know. Now, that being said, I had found this guy on TikTok, and his video went viral, and I naturally thought, like, he was cute. So, like, whatever, you're gonna shoot your shot. Doesn't matter if they don't live in your country. This person lived in Ohio. And I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. I'll fly to Ohio, sure. In my mind, because that's the way my mind works. And I don't understand why my mind works this way, but it does. And so whatever, I matched. I didn't match with him. Added him on TikTok. Added him on Instagram. Liked a couple photos. He liked a couple of my photos. This is modern dating nowadays. In 2023, this is how we date. I like a photo. You like a photo. Oh my God, he's interested. Boom, slide in the DM. That's just how it works. And that's exactly what I did. I slid in the DM. We started talking. We started talking nonstop. Now, I have learned my lesson from catfishing 2 years ago. I can't remember if you guys would remember the podcast episode when I got catfished. I got catfished by a guy that I had matched with on Hinge. All he did was call me on the phone. His voice kind of matched the photos that he had sent me, but he never wanted to FaceTime me. It was really weird, and we made plans like to go on a date, and he was gonna pick me up, which red flag right there. Never let a man pick you up on a first date because you do not want them to know where you live. You either meet them somewhere, drive yourself, or meet down the street somewhere. Like, you never, ever, ever, ever let a man who you don't know pick you up on a first date. And that is my safety moment of the day. Please do not ever do that. And I had got blocked because he was a catfish. The one fucking red flag I should have noticed was when he didn't want to FaceTime me. Anyways, that was my old catfish story. Now, start talking to this guy from Ohio. He's sending me voice notes all the day, so I'm getting a little bit of PTSD from that last catfish because he was doing the same thing. Full voice notes, phone calls. So I was like, I need you to FaceTime me because I don't believe you're real, even though you have a TikTok account and you're posting videos. Doesn't matter. AI is a thing nowadays. We all know this. You could be a bot. I have no fucking idea. Show me your face. So he FaceTimed me. I was like, okay, you're real. I feel a little bit better. Now, we started chit-chatting, but he was starting to like love, I feel like love bombing is the correct term for this. Calling me baby, calling me babe, I want to see you, I miss you, all this stuff. And I was like, how do you miss me? I haven't even met you yet. It's kind of weird that you miss me. Baby this, baby that. Went out and got really fucked up one night. Was like, am I in trouble? I don't want to be in trouble. You're my girl. If I'm talking to you, I'm only talking to you. And I'm just like, this seems weird. This seems weird just because I know a catfish when I see it, when blah, blah, blah. Now, one thing I admire about myself is that I am willing to give someone a chance, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if someone gives me attention the way that I was getting attention, I'm like, okay, maybe they do like me. Maybe I should give this a chance. I see enough TikToks online where people meet on TikTok and they fly out to go see each other, and then they fall in love and they're married and they have kids, all because they slid into a DM. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, holy shit, maybe this could work. So, you know, I'm thinking, okay, when in June could I try and go to Ohio? Or maybe we could meet somewhere closer, like Phoenix, Vegas, out, like somewhere closer where I could meet this man and not be stranded in Ohio or get murdered. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe he could come here. And then my friends are like, well, do you really want him to be stuck with you? Because you could get murdered in your own house too. Correct. Now, whatever. So the one night, whatever, he went to his parents for dinner or something like that, and then when he had got home, he put his phone on to do not disturb or whatever, because you can see when with iPhones when someone goes into do not disturb. And so I was like, okay, like, have a good night. I was out myself, so like I was not interested in really carrying on a conversation while I was out. And I had said, I would really like to have a conversation with you about something. He's like, what's that? And I was like, well, we need to probably maybe talk about boundaries, you know, red flags, and like this, that, and the other. No response. No response, no response, no response. I wake up in the morning, go on Instagram, I'm blocked. Go on TikTok, I'm blocked. Can't send text message, I'm blocked. I got blocked out of nowhere because I wanted to talk about my boundaries. Now, I don't know if he was a catfish. I don't know if me wanting to discuss my boundaries was an issue, which that should never be an issue. You should always be willing to talk about your boundaries, your expectations, your own red flags, your green flags. You should be able to talk about anything. And this man blocked me, and I could not fucking believe it. I literally was like, is this a joke? What is it that I said that I got blocked for? Like, what was the reason? There was no reason. He probably was a catfish. Who knows? At the end of the day, lesson learned, don't talk to anybody from Ohio. Or don't slide into those American DMs. I don't know. I don't know what the actual lesson is here, but that was just an experience that I had the other day. And I just was like, I laughed about it. I just couldn't believe it. Now, I've been chit-chatting with my ex-boyfriend, not the one that I just got out of a relationship with. God, no. You couldn't pay me all the money in the world to talk to that loser ever again. But I have been talking to my ex, who will always be in my life, the one that's been around the longest, and things have been going quite nice. Now, I'm feeling very confident nowadays, and I lost my spark a long time ago, and I know that all of you know that. because I actually got a text message from a friend of mine from work, and she literally said, I could hear it in your voice, how you deteriorated essentially while you were in that relationship, and how your last episode, your pep is back and you're back to your normal self. And that's how I feel. The confidence level has shot up because I feel so much better about myself. Now, I have been truly focusing on gym, fitness, you know, just feeling like my happy self again, you know, like taking time for myself. That is something I have never, ever, ever really actually done. I've never taken time to be alone, and I've never taken time to myself. I just had a few days off, and I literally actually just spent time alone. I went out for dinner with a friend of mine, and it was quite nice to get out with someone who I went out with him once, and we went out just like for drinks, casual little lunch, or not lunch, I guess, like a snack and a couple beers, and everything was great. Like, it was a really nice time, and I'm really enjoying the like singleness and like, you know, just building relationships and like even having friendships and just getting out there and just like being me and doing me. And like, I've been taking the dogs on longer walks now that the weather is hot, although again, not right now because of the smoke. But I just feel like I have slowly started to regain my confidence back, and it was something that took a really long time to do. And I deteriorated so much while I was with my ex, and when I got rid of my black hair and like stripped my head, like my hair is a big thing that makes me feel confident, and that's the one thing that I'm always willing to spend the money on, is because I feel so much more, I don't know if pretty's the word, like I feel better when I have long hair. And because I stripped my black hair, I had short hair, and my hair was just like thin and fine, and it just was not what I liked and what I wanted anymore. So I feel confident now. I'm blonde as can be now. I never thought that 3 months, 4 months, I think it's been a 4-month journey. I stripped it in January. 4 months. If my math is wrong, tell me. 4-month journey to get my hair long and blonde, and it's just been really good. The only other thing that I have been struggling with low key, I think, is I have a little bit of body dysmorphia, I believe. I work my ass off in the gym. I have now been on keto for a few days. I haven't been keto long. I try so hard to get back onto keto, and I find it is hard. But I'm back on keto. I'm feeling a little bit better about my body. But I was out with friends the other day, and my one friend was like, I think you have body dysmorphia. Like, you look fantastic. Like, you clearly can see that you have put in the work, and you are putting in the work, and it's noticeable. And I have had people message me on Instagram being like, you're looking good. Like, keep up the good work. And I need to get that into my head, because I am working hard. It's not that I'm slacking. I go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm feeling better. Life is good. Everything about life is good, except life is scary. Like I had mentioned, we've got bots coming into the world. The world is on fire. There's so much, you know, there's just a lot going on. But what I'm trying to say is regaining your confidence back is just very important after you have been absolutely demolished in a relationship. And the one thing that I can take away from this after how I've been feeling is you need to learn to be kind to yourself and stop being so hard on yourself. Life is a beautiful thing, and being kind to yourself is the first most important thing, as well as loving yourself. Be kind, love yourself, start saying no, learn your boundaries, know your boundaries, set expectations, and like, just recognize what you're good at. Honestly, like, these are all my things that I have tried to do to regain my confidence. I love cooking. I love being outside. I love my dogs as much as they drive me nuts. Like, give yourself a challenge. Like, try to be the best version of yourself that you can be. Take up a new hobby. There's so many things you can do to regain that confidence. If it means you want to go and get a face full of filler, or you want Botox, or you want your lips done, you want to cut your hair, you want to go get extensions, you want to get a fake tan, you want to get fake boobs, you want to do anything, you can do it. If that's going to make you feel fucking confident at the end of the day, do it. And that is what I wanted to come on here to say today, because I've been feeling great lately. I'm looking great. And yeah, if that makes me confident, that's fine. Or sorry, if that makes me cocky, that's fine. I'm confident now, and I haven't been confident in a really long time. And I wanted to come on here and release this episode today to just tell you all to love yourself and do what makes you happy, and make sure you're assertive in your life. Say no if you have to, and just fucking give yourself rules and love yourself. Like, learn to love yourself, and then that's when you will be able to love someone else and someone else can love you. Okay. I just wanted to get all that off my chest today. I'm sweating. I have to go to work today, but I just wanted to get on here quick and just come and just reassure you guys all to love yourself, and life is good and good things are coming for you. I also have a really exciting guest coming on. I'm going to be doing an episode with a couple of my male friends. Now, I would love to change the narrative on sex and dating with some men in my life who I know have crazy dating lives or don't, or interesting. I have a few that are lined up, and my one really exciting guest is going to be my friend Nick from Vancouver, and we're going to get together. We're trying to plan actually him coming here so we can record, because I would love to have it on video. As you can see, I'm trying to get all this stuff back on video because I need to bring back this YouTube channel. So this episode is also going to be available on my YouTube. If you are interested, head over to my YouTube channel, Welcome to Mars, and you can watch my hand mannerisms. I'm not wearing a bra right now, so that might interest you a little bit more to see me on the video camera, and maybe you'll like it more. Maybe the YouTube will be the way to play. Thank you for listening. I have to go. I really hope this smoke clears up, and I hope you all have told yourself you love yourself today. Bye. I'm too cute to not be on camera.